Welcome to our first episode of the Central Basketball Association's weekly update, where talent is discovered. I'm your host, Jeff Mahoney. In its second season, the CBA has come a long way, expanding from the original 4 teams to the 7 teams in the league today. The added basketball talent has added to the excitement of the playoff push, as this year's Final Four knockout will include the number 1 seed, Chattanooga Rail Runners, hosting the number 4 seed and defending league champion, St. Louis Hawks. And the number 2 seed Middle Tennessee Storm, they'll host the Fort Wayne Flite. The Storm back into the playoffs after dropping their final home game of the season at home versus St. Louis. And St. Louis was the talk of the league, owning its own destiny in the Sunday afternoon matchup at the Middle Tennessee Storm. First quarter, Storm up 19-14. Number 20, LaCroix Daniels lobbing it up from the backcourt, finding 6'7" Kevin Wilkinson Jr. Middle Tennessee up 21-16 after 1. 10-11 left to play in the second. The Storm's Brandon Springer corrals the pass, baseline, picked up by number 34 Corey Hill with the defense. Springer backs him down and goes up hard. Springer finishes with a game-high 28 points, 24-18, Storm up. 9 minutes later, 42-32, Middle Tennessee. Daniels on the near wing receives the cross-court pass to Taj Wells. Daniels gets it back and rises up for 3. His only points of the game. Storm up 47-35. 7 seconds left to play till the half. St. Louis's Linnell Johnson, he had 21 points in this game with the steal and is going to take it himself. Lays it in at the buzzer. Hawks down by 10, 47-37 at the break. On to the fourth quarter, Storm up 88-87. We got a 2-man game with Alex Jackson finding 6'8" forward Philip Stewart, who rises up for 3. Hawks take the lead 90-88 with 5 minutes left in the game. St. Louis increases its lead 94-88 with 3 minutes on the clock. Storm pushing the tempo. Christopher Smith from the high post finds Miles Thrash on the wing for 3 of his 11 points in this game. Middle Tennessee pulls within 3. Next time down the court, the Storm with a give and go and give. Wesley Poe hands it off to Thrash, back to Poe, who finds Dominique Rouse off the glass with the touch. Middle Tennessee pulls within 1, 93-94. Tied at 96, 25 seconds left to play. Rouse driving to the bucket is met by Jackson and gets swatted. Hawks take over possession. Moments later, number 22, Donald Davis from Harris-Stowe State University, one-on-one with Marcus Patton. Davis with the spin, and the runner is good in the lane with 4.5 seconds left on the clock. St. Louis would eventually get the win, 98-96. The Hawks outscored Middle Tennessee 61-49 in the second half, led by University of Northern Iowa product Corey Hill. The 6'4" guard had a team-high 22 points, with 15 of those coming in the second half. The Storm's Brandon Springer finished with a game-high 28 points, hitting 11 of 15 from the field, and was a perfect 2 for 2 from beyond the arc. The Hawks were in a battle with Bowling Green for that number 4 seed, and the Hornets were one of the hottest teams in the CBA, having won 5 out of 6, entering their final game of the season on the road against Fort Wayne. All season long, the Flite have relied on the dynamic ability of 5'11" guard Antonio Cannon, who is amongst the league leaders, averaging nearly 25 points per game. And it did not take Cannon long to get going. Here in the second quarter, rises up for 3. He hit 5 in the game and finished with 26 points. And this is part of a 25-2 run to end the first half by the Flite. We sent it to the Flite broadcaster, Tim Atkinson.
Scott looks for Neodaro down low, decides otherwise, comes back out, dribble drive with the left hand, goes up with the right, gets swatted by James Humphrey. Here comes Johnson, look for Cannon on the wing, jams it home! Antonio Cannon with the absolute beautiful play as McGee hustles back and steals the pass. Cannon from the wing for 3, drills it! Beautiful stretch by the Fort Wayne Flite. Some of the action you'll see in the Central Basketball Association as they hold them to 37 points in the first half, does the Fort Wayne Flite. 62-37, your score. Outstanding last minute of action as the Flite got out on the warpath and started throwing it down.
On to the fourth quarter, Flite cruising up by 18 under 10 minutes to play. Number 10, Brandon Williams for the Hornets with a great feed down low to Akaro Akume. Akume finished with 14 points. Flite now up 88-72. 8:23 left in the fourth. James Humphrey with the pump fake Euro step to the two-handed flush. 90-74 Fort Wayne. Bowling Green answers back a minute later as Daquan Brown takes it coast to coast, gets the bucket and one. The Hornets pull within 13, 90-77. But back to the Flite and Humphrey, who had a huge day. Here he receives the kick from Cannon and boom! Buries the three ball. He had two in the game, and the Flite win it 114-101. Coach Rod Wilma and the Flite are in the playoffs.
We've been working so hard, and I think the guys are starting to understand how to play the game, and it's been a process from the beginning since I think January. Getting guys, picking the team, and the guys are finally learning how to play together. And that first half was a clinic. I mean, defensively, they really shot clock violations. They really buckled down defensively. That's why I'm more proud of these guys defensively, playing together in rotations. I feel I got the best coaching staff. I mean, we work hard all week. Coach Carey puts up a great scouting report for the guys, and Chief, he does a great job of working with our bigs. So we're going to be ready wherever we play. We're talented, we're young, we're athletic. We just need to play smart basketball. If we can do that, we can go a long way in the playoffs.
The Flite secure their playoff spot in the 13-point victory over Bowling Green. 6'7" forward James Humphrey led all scorers with 35 points and added 5 rebounds for Fort Wayne. Hornets guard Daquan Brown hit 8 of 12 shots from the field, 2 of 3 from beyond the arc for a team-high 19 points. The seeding for this year's Final Four knockout tournament was as close as you could get, with 8 possible playoff scenarios heading into the final weekend of games. The only lock in this tournament has been the number 1 seed, Chattanooga, who are led by 6'6" forward Jonathan Adams, who's averaging 16.4 points per game. He's not the only scorer for the Rail Runners, who have 7 players averaging double digits. They will host a St. Louis team that they beat this past Saturday in Nashville, 133-122. The Hawks are loaded in the backcourt with dynamic scorers Corey Hill and Linnell Johnson. On the other side of the bracket is the number 2 seeded Middle Tennessee Storm, playing host to the number 3 seed Fort Wayne Flite. The only matchup between these two squads went to the Storm 98-96 in Fort Wayne. The Storm are led by 6-foot point guard Miles Thrash and 6'5" wing player Brandon Springer, who both averaged over 20 points per game on the season. The Flite are led by a pair of guards and 6'5" point guard Marcus Johnson and 5'11" high flyer Antonio Cannon. These playoffs are set up just like the college Final Four. Win and advance, lose and go home. With that scenario, look for all 4 teams to pull out every stop to win this year's Central Basketball Association title. Best of luck to the remaining teams this weekend. I'm Jeff Mahoney. Thank you for supporting the CBA.